Okay, so I'm in the gym, and against my better judgment, I'm gonna go ahead and do some filming in here, so y'all can see me get my fat ass in shape. So, yeah, I had a malfunction because I had to tie my shirt in the back, so I had to redo the last string. But I bet you're like, oh, she's not showing her face on my haters. Ta-da! I'm just in my gym in my place. But anyway, let's get this going. Hi. Let's get my camera. So, yeah, I got a lot of crazy people, so you know how. I'm going to. I don't know what happened. I was kicked out. Hmm. Y'all are going to be able to hear me doing some cardio. And yeah, I'll try not to puff and puff too much. But yes, this is going to be me working out with you. Let's do level 8. I'm going to kill myself. Okay. And there we go. Alrighty. So I should talk while I do this. We miss your face. Aw, love you, Tahuti. Yeah, because you know what it is, Tahuti. I show myself so much on this internet for over 4 years. It'll be 5 years in like March next year, which is right around the corner. And you know, I don't know, there's so many people who, I gotta just face what like Sonnetter tells me. Can you hear me okay, by the way? You can hear me okay, right? I'm gonna take these headphones off. Let me know if you can hear me okay. There's so many people who I don't really like think about it, but they really live to like see, okay, what's she gonna do now, or how she look. Oh, she don't look good, or she's ugly, she must look like a monster. Oh, she thinks she's perfect. Tahuti, I've never said I'm perfect, and you know that. But for them, I'm perfect. I'm talking about the negative people, not the ones like you and a lot of people who just love me and live their lives. I'm talking about like people who have stalked me and harassed me. And you know which one I'm talking about because you even confronted her, one of those people. Anyway, so I don't like showing myself, just like I showed myself just now, but you do become like more cautious and guarded. And I'm not a celebrity at all, but I must be a celebrity to them because they do exactly what the world does to celebrities, like on a smaller scale. Like they wait to see if there's a celebrity who's really pretty, they'll wait to find an ugly picture of her. If there's a man who's really like respected, they'll wait to see if he's doing something like with a bunch of women or drugs. These type of people really don't like themselves. Peace, Philip. They don't, you know? And it's sad. Hola, no saints. I was thinking about you when I was doing my walk and talk earlier. Nice to see you guys. I really should come to my channel and go live more. I always feel guilty once I'm on my channel live and I'm like, oh, I miss them. Why am I not over here? I gotta go live more. But anyway, so, hold on y'all, I'm picking up the pace as you see. But anyway, let me take it down because it's like, I can't talk and be at like level 6. Okay, so let's take it down to a 4. So anyway, that's why, I don't mind showing myself. Yeah, I miss you guys. So I don't mind showing myself, but it's like they mess with my pictures. They do AI, and then they say, oh, it's not AI. We want to prove to you she's so ugly, she's so hideous. But it's like, really, you just don't like how you yourself looks. Or like, they don't like themselves. They don't. They don't like themselves, and then they want people to hate me who love me. But they don't understand. People don't love me for my looks. They don't. People don't love me because they think I might have, a Somnetter might have a lot of money, or I have a lot of money. They don't think that. People don't think that at all. They just like the human connection, you see? And they don't understand what the human connection is. Like Kendrick says, sometimes you gotta pop out and show up. Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's a certain woman on the internet, she's clearly morbidly obese. And this isn't a diss. Hear me out. She's clearly morbidly obese. She spends so much time talking about my body. Isn't that sad? I'm not dissing anybody, because I want to be my healthiest self. And I want everyone who's struggling, if it's drugs, alcohol, weight, any type of thing that they can't get over, I really want good people to make it. If she wasn't so sick and her upbringing, it's sad, she had, had a lot of abuse, which a lot of people had abuse. So that's not even an excuse, but I'm saying the reason, because she hasn't done anything about it. If she wasn't so messed up, I would be like, wow, I really hope she gets healthy. I really hope she feels good about her body and herself soon. But I can't feel that way for her, because she won't give me time to feel that way for her. She's too busy trying to destroy my life. And she can't destroy my life. She can work at destroying my reputation, but I just come in like Philip said. I gotta come in, pop out, and show. So people will be like, oh, okay. So those people are just attacking you because they just are liars and haters. And people go, oh, wow, they're liars and haters? Why? And then people for a minute feel sad for them. But then when they see the years and the years of harassment and lies, they say, no, I don't feel sad for those kind of people. Those are the people who are destroying the community. And I mean the world community. So, yeah. Hey, Goten Huggins. I'm 5'9", right? I guess I am tall. 5'9" is pretty tall, right? But that's a compliment. So, yeah, like, people actually, think of all the people in the world, right? No, not even the world. Think of all the people in this little community, this this online community where we know each other. I am focused on by these people, especially these like Black women who are supposed to love Black women so much because, right, they're Black. So shouldn't they love Black women? I'm focused on by them. And to them, I'm the only woman who says anything, teaches anything, does anything, looks any certain type of way. I'm the only woman that they focus on. They focus on, oh, let's see Nepal, what she's teaching. Oh, she's such a bop. She's such a whore, right, guys? Let's go see what she's doing. And then when I say, why are you guys harassing me? The mental game that they play. She's harassing us. They mess with my pictures, they mess with my videos. And then the minute I say, you know, like I just said, one's morbidly obese. And it's not even that she's morbidly obese. She's not even caring about taking care of herself. And instead she's focusing on me. That's the point. Being morbidly obese isn't evil or it's not like, I'm not making fun like, oh, haha, you're morbidly obese. No, I'm saying you're actually morbidly obese, but you're focused on my body. Why? I've never said I have a perfect body, but I'm not playing. I'll show myself. I'm not stupid, but there's a lot of things that I don't like that I could work on, and I work on it, right? How crazy would it be if I was always on some fitness woman's channel or some beautiful models channel, some Instagram model body, and all I did was try, every time I go live, or every time I say something, I'm trying to convince people, she's not really good looking. Think about that, guys and gals. I'm 5'9". I was watching the US Open. Arena Sabalenka is 6 feet tall. Hey, yeah, that's tall. Oh, thank you, No Saint. Don't love me over here. You're biased. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you. And you know what? There's so many pretty women. You know what? I'm telling you, I've been really taking a long look at women. Women are pretty because of their personalities. Of course, you don't want her coming out looking like she hasn't washed her hair or her body for like a week, or, you know. But when you have, say, a bunch of women, right? And it's a nice event, and they're all dressed up, looking their best, and they're all different shapes and sizes. There's so many beautiful people. Women are beautiful. Men, I get it. Men are handsome. But I'm talking about women. If you don't see any hatred or jealousy or malice, women are beautiful. What makes women not beautiful is how they act at the end of the day. It really is true. That's why you see so many, well, not all the time, but you'll see a woman, maybe for us, she doesn't fit the beauty standard that society tells us that people should fit, you know, but you'll see her with a man, and he's not bad looking, and he's just he adores her and he loves her. It's because her actions became physical, like they manifest into physical beauty. It's like magic, right? I'm just kidding, but you know what I'm saying. It's like when you're super beautiful, and I'm going to be forthright, I'm going to be honest. When I was always a sweetie pie, I ain't gonna lie. But when I was younger, like let's say like a teenager and modeling, I wasn't always nice. Sometimes I was really mean to like certain guys who weren't my type. And they had to be pushy though. It wasn't just like a nice guy. Like if they're super pushy, I would be mean. That's when people say, the guys will say, she wasn't all that. Now, that could be like sour grapes, like Aesop's fable, but also there's a lot of truth to that. You know what I mean? Like when a beautiful, I'm saying by the world's beauty standards, when a beautiful woman is really, vicious and nasty, men lose attraction. They don't even see her. They see all her flaws and they're magnified. And they say, yeah, she's not even attractive. So this is for all women. I'm talking to myself as well. You just gotta work on the personality. You gotta work on the inside as well as the outside. And the older I get, all praise to the Most High, the older I get, I realize that secret. Like, I'll never care. I'm not going to be in a man's face like trying to pick up on a man. I'm married, number one, but even if I wasn't, but you want to have that appeal, that personality appeal. And I'm not saying pretend, because a lot of these vicious, toxic women pretend. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about toxic femininity. I'm talking about just sitting still, doing what you do. So staying in your lane. You don't have to pander. You don't have to pretend to not want to teach or you don't have to be quiet about top topics. You can speak and do and teach, but you leave yourself in your own space and you just magnetize. You magnetize people toward you, male and female. You draw people toward you. And it's not even a sexual thing, so people think that right away. No, it's like that song by the Carpenters. Like, what is it? Just like me, they long to be close to you. So, I'm human. I want to be close to people who are awesome, who are interesting. It's awesome. So let me look at the chat. Let's see here. So yeah, big facts. Personality is super important. Yeah. So then I want to get back to how they attacked me, because Tahuti said, we like when you turn your camera. It's like, first of all, why do you have to change my looks? They really think, well, that's what they always say, that family? They say, people just like her because of her big titties, which is very, very crass, very disgusting, very vulgar. Of course, it's an insult. But that's what they think. They think the only reason people like Nepal is because how she looks. What if something happened to my looks, Lord forbid? I think about that. Like, what if something horrible happens? First of all, I would forever wear a shroud. I'm being serious. Not because I'm ashamed so much, but it would be like, why would I want to walk around terrifying everyone like John Merrick or something? You know, the Elephant Man. I'm being serious about that. But if something happened to me and I just was super deformed and I put on a shroud or I didn't wear a shroud, people wouldn't stop loving me. Don't they get it? Gotta get my nap on. Go to sleep. I'm gonna fall asleep listening. Oh, okay. All right. I love you, Tahiti. You're so awesome. These are my friends in here. No Saint, Tahuti, Philip. These are people who have seen me on the, and I'm getting a little emotional, getting verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I felt a little choked up for a second. But these are people who have seen me so many times on the internet, like, you know, teaching and dealing with having fun, dealing with all the madness. They've seen me crashing out. They've seen me take the high road. So somebody talking about my looks and saying, we're gonna prove to you. And it's usually some crazy lady. Like, we're gonna prove to everyone that Nepal is ugly. We're gonna do it. That's our life mission. We have to prove that she's ugly, y'all. Come on, come together. We gotta do it. Meanwhile, I already talked about how some of them they really are insecure and they hate themselves. But also, there's more important things to worry about. Like serious criminals who are in the community and people are still high-fiving them. You remember when they were attacking Sonetta and me and lying and saying, oh, you let so-and-so on your platform. Everybody knows HOK is like, it's like Speaker's Corner in England. Everybody comes through there. Yes, pedophiles have been in the HOK and they have been discovered and they are in prison now. That's the world. Thank goodness. Unfortunately, we have PDF files lurking amongst us. And then it's a blessing when those PDF files are pointed out and then they're taken to justice. So what I'm saying is, seems like Sonetta was the one, along with me, now that I'm here. I didn't know about the Renintech girl, but he was the one who said, hey guys, there's something going on. What did they do? You're just jealous, you're a hater, you're just mad. And then the girl's mom was like, yeah, that's no big deal. So he was like, all right, whatever you say so. And he moved on with his life. He didn't interact with that guy, like people say. That guy moved on, you saw. Sonetta's in New York, and that guy was in California. I'm in California. I'm in California. They hate that video when I say that. Anyway, so what am I saying? What I'm saying is, fast forward, here I am saying, what about these guys? What about these guys that we see? You're just jealous. You're just mad. You just want to be with them. Oh, okay. So basically, you're stalking me, changing my pictures, hoping that people think that I look like, I don't know, a tired older lady. That's supposed to be a big deal, everybody. You hear me? That's supposed to be the worst reveal. Even though it's a lie, but it's the worst reveal, right? But when they know that a man in his past, many men, not just one, there's like 2 or 3, they've done things. And I'm not talking about accusations, lies on Sonetter. I mean from their own lips, from their own voice, from their own tongue, from their own mouths. Thine own mouths condemneth thee. They said, yeah, a little girl once upon a time said that I essayed her. She said I grabbed her and that I pressed my privates against her. Yeah, it went to court. That came out of that man's mouth. And then another guy says, oh yeah, when I was like 19, I had 2 14-year-olds have my baby. That came out of that man's mouth. And another guy, they ask him, why do you have lifetime SA on your record? He doesn't say anything. So the eyebrow raises for him as well. But they don't care. They don't care. Forget about that. What do? I look at them like, okay, dude, polite ain't right. Hate dudes who do, but initially call them, yeah, that's pretty sick. He's hybrid cipher. But what I'm saying is, none of that matters. To be honest, no, to give you my opinion, which is pretty good, if we didn't find out, all praises to the Most High, if we hadn't found out about Polite, and he was still doing his whole cult lies and just harming children secretly, if we never found that out, they wouldn't be doing anything to him. You know what they'd be doing? We got to reveal that Nepal is a Sasquatch. Let's show her video. I think she might be an elderly, overweight lady, y'all. We got her. That's what they'd be doing, because how do I know? Because they work night and day to talk about my looks and call me a whore. But there are men that they cheer on in True Light. You've seen it. I'm not condemning you. I don't know you. But sell out when it comes to Polite. Yeah, of course. So that's why I'm talking to you. You're not biased toward me. I'm saying this to you. You've seen them. Why are they not? Seriously. They don't have to like me, right? Why don't they say, well, wait a minute. This guy did say that this happened. And I don't care about the cleanup woman who comes behind and says, oh, she's a liar. She's just jealous. She still wants to be with him. No, I don't care about that. I'm wondering how you could even think about going over there and telling a man, I'm gonna, you know what, your children. See, you could even say, I don't like Nepal. Can't stand her. She makes me sick. I don't like how she talks. But I still will not side with anyone who has said, in my past, I was going to harm children, or I said I was going to harm children. Now, people say, well, what about you, Nepal? What about Israel doctrine? First of all, I still don't know what happened with Israel doctrine. I don't. Number one, I'm going to speak on that. I don't know what happened. But from what I've heard him say, and other people who don't like him, he did something disgusting and stupid. He didn't do it with the intent, and I'm not caping for anybody who does this, because it's still illegal and sick. But He got so caught up. Hear me out, family. He got so caught up in trying to destroy another man's life, Khalil Amani. He got so caught up in the frenzy that he didn't even think, hey, wait a minute. What the hell am I doing over here? These children are harmed. This is some serious, disgusting shit. Like, what the hell? Didn't see it. Couldn't see the forest for the trees. Too busy focused on, I gotta destroy him. I gotta get this guy. It's sad. And now he's suffering for that forever. Forever. And he's gonna have to do something about that. He is. He's never done, well, he has talked about me. He called me a hoe. Can you believe that, y'all? He called me a hoe back in 21 or 2020. I was a hoe to him, and it was all a joke. Everybody could call Nepal a hoe, you know. So I don't even hold it against him. I mean, it's sad. I do hold him responsible, but so many people, you know, oh, she's a hoe. She's a hoe. But back to what I'm saying. Israel doctrine, when he comes to the platform, he's on the platform and he says what he needs to say. For what I saw, that's not my platform number one. Okay, let's get that out the way. And Sonetter, he spoke to him. He spoke to Israel doctrine. Sonetter knows that he's been lied on. Sonetter has been lied on. So have I. So it's sad that hangs over, you know, because it's like people crying wolf all the time. How can I believe you when you have called us the same thing and we haven't done any of that shit? You will never catch me doing some crazy shit like that. Excuse my language. I'm saying what Israel did. You don't look that kind of stuff up. And sadly, a lot of people don't think about that till it's too late. Just like they don't think that pornography is a big deal. Women with women, I'm talking adults, women and men. It's all SA, to be honest. See, if I say pornography is SA, people say, oh, she's tripping. She's comparing, oh shoot, I pulled my thing. She's comparing child pee. No, I'm not. Child pee is sick, illegal, and it's just, oh God, I'm saying all of it is bad. But child pee is the worst. But I would never look at any of it. But child pee, basically they'll take a sound bite and say, did you see she didn't care about child pee? But who cares at this point? Everybody knows. I'm saying who cares about the haters? My point is, we should look at everybody and we shouldn't be biased. We shouldn't, just because people don't like Nepal, oh, who she thinks she is. We have a stalking ass woman another stalking woman who joined. She's like, I want to prove to you guys that she's not spiritual and that she's poor, guys. She's poor and she's fat. You get it? It's so funny. Keep on keeping recipes or receipts. You meant receipts? Oh, wow. Let me read some of these. My treadmill stopped. It's annoying that it stopped. Damn. Okay, hold on. All right. Let's get back to this. Okay, so it says, I give the slander against you zero credibility. Thank you so much, No Saint. Since day one that I saw you on HOK, they have been trying to defame you, and that's true. You know what? That is so true, No Saint. I went back because I was helping Sonetter like take down videos because he's cleaning his channel up, because this woman is so hell-bent on destroying his brand and his legacy. So we were taking down the videos, and I was looking at an old video. I was thinking, when I was reading the chat, I was like, wow, these people aren't here anymore. But why do they hate me? Wow, they really hate me. And it was mostly women, which I was like, people are like, you think you're so, that's where they say I think I'm beautiful, more beautiful than everybody, right? Because I'll say, why are you guys so jealous? They don't get it. It's not about looks. But though I have told a lot of them about how they look, I'm not gonna lie. And they asked for it because they kept coming for me, like this one who keeps coming for me, and she just looks a hot mess. It's madness. She admits that she has to bathe once a day because she stinks. Like, she said that out of her own mouth, especially in the summer. And that's good. Don't we all have to bathe Don't we all have to bathe every day? But I'm saying, see, that wasn't a diss. These are just things that came out of her mouth. And I'm looking at her thinking, okay, that's good. Some people have to bathe more than once a day, and that's awesome. You do it. You must not stink. But you say if you don't do it, which who doesn't bathe once a day, but you say if you skip a day, you stink. Why are you worried about me? Just go find some Lumi. Eat something that makes you smell good. You know what I mean? It's like, what? But anyway, I digress. I was saying, I was looking at these women and I was like, some of them became my good friends. And I love them today. When I say good friends, I mean on the internet. And maybe 2 or 3. But yeah, it was from day one. And it's sad because they assume that because people tell me, oh, you look pretty, like how you said that. When you say I look pretty, they go and say, no, she doesn't, because I've seen it. You know what? I've seen it. When I would be looking at some of the comments when I first came in, they're like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's using a filter. Or if somebody says she's beautiful, that's not her real hair. When sometimes it'll be my real hair, especially when I first came in. And they're like, every time somebody would say, Nepal's so pretty. No, she's not. I'm going to show you. It's fake. That's what this one woman does. She like stalks and pays money for people to change my pictures or stalk me. And all she does is say, she's not really pretty. I'm going to prove it. How sad is that, right? And they call me a catfisher, these sick people. They know I'm not catfishing, but it works. Catfishing would be like, you look like Gary Coleman, but you're saying that you look like, I don't know, Halle Berry. You know what I mean? And the sad part is most, if not all of these people are in their 40s and 50s. Crazy, right? They're supposed to be like older and, you know, more stable-minded. Black people need help. So anyway, see, how long have I been doing this? Let's see. Where's my timer? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. 40 minutes? Okay, no, 38 minutes. So, yeah, I got to keep receipts. But anyway, it's getting crazy though. It's getting like, they're starting to like do things that are scary. Like say you should go, you know what, one of them said, I don't know why you guys haven't done anything, you better step it up. You know what her mom looks like. You know where she lives. First off, why would you say that? Why would you say you know what her mom looks like? They can't say, this person can't say, oh, I was saying you know what her mom looks like because I want you to go file a police report. No, that has nothing to do with how someone looks. You're telling people to go harm my mother, an elderly lady, because you're a criminal and spent a lot of time behind bars. You want other people to. It's sad. But they were saying, you were, I know, remember that? I'm not white anymore. And I'm not, no saint. I'm not some Instagram BBL fake body anymore. I'm an old black lady, overweight black lady who is barely can walk and who lives with her mom, which is interesting because I thought they were so for black people, right? That's not something that's not real. Like, there are a lot of older black ladies who are broke and who, let alone live with their mom, they're homeless. So how is that a diss? You know, it's like, I thought you loved black so much. And most of their audience are bloated, angry, toxic, malodorous. Women. It's usually women. I really want to make that point that I appreciate people who stay away from that kind of cyber stalking and gang stalking. You know, it is really great. But some people they can't help it. They can't help it. It makes them feel better about their own lives. Yeah. Yeah, dog. So anyway, I'm super happy to be working out. Like, I usually will walk or do stuff at home, you know, but it feels good being in the gym. No matter if it's just a little, you know, tiny gym. I like it. And I like talking to y'all. I usually will listen to some music or a documentary. Oh, I've been really focused lately on the civil rights movement, but not the civil rights movement. You can't remove the black part of it about the rights for blacks, but mostly I'm looking, which I did this before, but I left it alone. Bayard Rustin. I had a series on another channel that got taken down. I had a series called The Clever Pedophile. And no, Bayard Rustin was, I'm not saying Bayard Rustin was a pedophile, so everybody chill. But I went down a rabbit hole from Kinsey, the Kinsey Institute, and all the research they did on children, and the way they wanted to, or they did, frame psychology and the sexuality of humans. And then I started looking at, when I looked at the Kinsey Institute, how they did those horrible studies on infants and children, those sex studies. I went into looking at the way, how do I say it? Adults who are attracted to children. And it's also called a PDF file. So I started looking at how, like, organizations like PI and NAMBLA were using the research from the Kinsey Institute to say, okay, see, this is scientific. There's nothing wrong with it. And then PI, which is, it's the PDF file, well, it's PDF file information exchange. And then NAMBLA is North American Man Boy Love Association. It's really sick. So they were saying, oh, the science is behind it. And then they used that science to talk about civil rights, you know, like the gay movement for civil rights, for gays to have rights. And I'm not saying gays shouldn't have rights. I'm not talking about the gay person who is just living their wonderful lives, being a good person. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how these PDF files used the civil rights movement and the science, the terrible science from Kinsey Institute, to push their rights, like to try to fight for the rights to harm children. And that's when, of course, I was like, okay. This was like in 2015. I was like, so who knew back then? I was like, who knew that the civil rights movement was led by a homosexual, openly homosexual Black man? So again, I'm not vilifying Bayard Rustin, but I went all the way around the bend to let you know this is how I got to researching Bayard Rustin and what he did for the civil rights movement. Bayard Rustin really was the hugest part of, besides Martin Luther King, like Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., yes, he was the face. Because Bayard Rustin at that time, he couldn't be the face. You know, it was like he was homosexual, and that was like super, super taboo and looked down upon. So I've been walking 4 miles 5 days a week for 3 months. Woo, you must look great and feel great. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. Love yourself and take care of yourself. See, that comment will motivate others. It motivates me even more. So thank you, No Saying. But anyway, so I just was looking at Bayard Rustin back in 2015, and then I started doing stuff about the agenda. See, because obviously Bayard Rustin, he also, well, first he's a Black man, and then he's homosexual. So he was fighting for the rights of Blacks and homosexuals. That's great, right? However, the clever pedophile, which was a series I was doing, comes in and says, oh, I'm gonna take this information and I'm gonna use it to my advantage and to the disadvantage of children, obviously, and their families. So fast forward to 2024, Bayard Rustin popped back into my mind. And I started thinking about that because I was actually revisiting the LGBTQ IA plus community. I take issue with the IA part. I mean, I don't see, fine, but I don't see how IA belongs in there. Like intersex and asexual, that doesn't fit, in my opinion. But basically, I was looking at the LGBTQ community, really looking at the community and the people, like the struggles and also like how things are going sideways. You see what I'm getting at? It's like, did Bayard Rustin really fight for the rights of Blacks and Mexicans and everybody whose civil rights are taken away, and including homosexuals? Did he do that so people could flip it and start to take the rights away from heterosexuals and people who don't indulge in that lifestyle? I was thinking about that. He was very level-headed, and he even was against reparations, which is wild. He had his reasons, which that's a different conversation, but my point is, he was very conservative for the most part. but he was gay, and he's openly gay, and he fought for homosexuals' rights. Did he fight for these rights so today people can use it as a weapon against you? You know what I mean? I don't think so. Like, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but there was a point when one of the guys in this community didn't agree with how certain men dress. He saw it as like flamboyant or not very male, more on the side of what society says female dressing looks like. Notice I said what society says. And he was like, I don't think it's a good representation for Black men. He got dragged by the community, the LGBTQ community, not the community that he's in. He got dragged by them and vilified, and they were like, what are you talking about? You're just insecure about yourself, and this is homophobia, and you're against us. And even though he's said, okay, no, I'm for you guys. I'm for you to have rights. No, the minute he had an opinion that, that kind of like Boy George look. I'm not even talking Milli Vanilli. I mean like a beard, but long flowing hair and fake eyelashes, lipstick, like that look. And see, I'm not bashing the look. I'm just making a statement. Like the guy said, I don't think that's a good representation for Black men. That doesn't look like a strong Black man. And he got vilified. And right away, what happened? You're homophobic. You don't want us to be ourselves. So that's not fair. Because pioneers like Bayard Rustin, like if they fought for the rights of gays, they didn't fight for the rights of gays. So gays and well, lesbians are gay, but male and female homosexuals, that he didn't say, okay, now that you have these rights, use them, flip them, and start to oppress the heterosexuals. I want to see you in their children's schools. I want to see you doing story time in full drag. Girl, you better work. You know what I mean? It's like, is this really what we're doing? I said this before. I don't want strippers reading books in schools. I'm talking about heterosexual women. I don't want them putting on their stripper outfit. Even if it's that tight dress that they wear in between, sets. You know what I'm saying? With their high heels. Can you imagine? They're sitting there with the pole next to them, or just on the pole telling stories up on the pole. No. It is not what we should be doing. Look, if a child is like, yeah, my dad does drag, a child shouldn't get laughed at school. They shouldn't get ridiculed. Like, they should be protected. The school should make extra effort, like, don't attack this child because his dad does drag. But the child's dad coming to the school in drag, reading to the kids, when the kids are like, why does this lady have a beard, mommy? That's, especially when we're talking about impressionable school-age children. Remember, they're getting read to, so they have to be like pre-K, kinder, first grade. That's when you have those type of, everybody sit down, I'm going to read a story to you. So I wish Bayard Rustin was still alive. Of course he's not. He lived a long life. But I know Bayard Rustin would be like, no, this isn't what our rights are about. Our rights are about being protected. And this is beyond the LGBTQ community. This is for everybody. But Black first. Why? Because they had dogs sicked on them and hoses turned on them because they're Black. Nobody knew if they were gay or straight. People knew they were Black. And that's why they were getting discriminated against. So the Black people who made the sacrifice for all people not to be discriminated against. I kind of lost my train of thought, but we don't want to be like, oh, they did that, so now we can discriminate against heterosexuals, and especially, this is for say, and we definitely gonna take all the rights away from these heterosexual white men. Get what I'm saying? It's like, no. What a waste, right? What a waste, and all those sacrifices, all those lives lost, just to what? Go right back to where we started, discriminating against a certain group, which would be heterosexuals, males, saying all men, and then white males especially. Let's keep it a buck. And then I said Black men and white males, and then it's like, okay, now we're going to discriminate against people, who have a better life. So it's like, that's our nature, but we're getting back to law, and we're talking about structure of a society. And although it's our nature, we're supposed to check ourselves, checks and balances. We're supposed to check ourselves and be like, no, we're not going to do this to the heterosexuals. We're not doing this to the Bible believers. We're not going to do this to the Christians. You see what they did during the Olympics? Okay, let me read this. Nepal, please do more lives. I will. I miss coming on the panel also. Oh yeah, I gotta email you. Okay, definitely. I will. I say I will, and I have to. I really love this, being on my channel, just rambling. No, but I appreciate the interaction. But remember the Olympics, everybody? Do you know there were homosexuals and trans genders who were against what happened at the Olympics? They were like, that wasn't right. I didn't like that. So there were atheists who were like, why'd they do the Christians like that? I think it was Elon Musk. Yes, Elon Musk. He was like, y'all know I'm an atheist, but like, what the hell? Or I think he's definitely not a Christian or a Bible believer, but he was like, that was an awful display of disrespect, unnecessary. And guess what? This is to the homosexual community. You're being used. You're being used. You're being weaponized you're being weaponized for division, and you think you're getting to come up. No, they're using you. Why would they do that? And this guy's like, we're supposed to believe that it's just that one artist. He's like, I did not want to offend anyone who had some offense. It's like, there are people who had to approve that, high up people. You understand? It's the Olympics. So, Copenhagen said, Sabalenka, 6 feet tall. I will look her up. All right. So, yeah, you're being used because nobody, hear me out. Nobody was coming for the people who pay for the Olympics or run the Olympics. They weren't really coming for them. Yeah, they said, who's the guy in charge? But who were they coming for and condemning? The LGBTQ community. See, you were used. Even though there were a lot of homosexuals and transgenders who were appalled, and they were like, that's wrong. You were used. And that goes for moving away from the LGBTQ community, that goes for blacks as well. You're so always used, aren't you? And I'm sure you know it more than anyone else. You're used to get things done. Oh, come on and vote. Vote for Kamala. Y'all know she's black. So what if she's black? Even if I don't care. I want to know what her policies. You get what I'm saying, y'all? They do that to the LGBTQ community too. You know he's gay, right? You're going to vote for him, right? I don't care if he's gay. What are his policies? I don't care if she's trans. What are her policies? Because at the end of the day, her gender or her sexual preference isn't what's going to make or break this country, or her race. What's going to make or break this country are her policies and her relations, domestic and foreign, right? Kamala has not shown her policies yet. Well, African royalty, thanks for being here. We could see what she's done in this current administration. And I beg to differ, because we know that she has policies to take almost all restrictions off of abortion. That's one of her agendas. She wants to disband ICE. She says revamp, because they have to use certain language. That's why she uses reproductive freedom instead of abortion. She has to disband ICE. So immigrant, I forgot, I say it's immigrant something. It's not control, it's something else. But basically the police, the immigration police, she wants to get rid of that, make it very few laws that govern it. If a person is a so-called dangerous criminal is when they would actually take action. What? What about thieves? You know? What about the ones who sneak in through the gap in the gate? You saw the video I showed with the Chinese immigrants? So those are things she's okay with. And those are huge deals. Not to mention, thank you, African royalty. Not to mention, let's not forget that she doesn't care what's going on with those poor people in Palestine. What is it, 40,000 dead already? 80% of them are civilians, maybe even higher. You know, an American girl just went over there and got murdered like 4 days ago. She was a graduate student. She went over to the West Bank to do a protest, which was really, I don't know who let her do that. God, but it was, I hope she didn't die in vain. So I'm speaking on her. Keep her spirit alive. Rest in power. So a young woman, American, she just recently went over there to protest because people are just getting killed over there. Peace, Ben Frank. There's my friend. There's another friend of mine. Okay, so all of you are friends, but just good to see you guys and gals. So what am I saying? She goes over there to Palestine. She goes to the West Bank and she's protesting like, stop the killing. What happens? She gets gunned down by the Israeli soldiers. You know, the Israeli soldiers go in and they shoot people in these encampments. I mean, remember, these are people who have escaped supposedly they're in this area to get away from the war, right? But they're under siege. And the Israeli soldiers, who are basically young, angry, you know, Israelis who, oh, you killed our people. We're supposed to hate you. You're Palestine. So they're shooting teenagers. A girl looked out her window a couple months ago, I think it was. She heard gunfire. She looked out her window. They shot her dead. Teacher got shot in the stomach. They called for an ambulance. The Israeli soldiers blocked the ambulance. They blocked the ambulance for a 16-year-old boy as well that they shot. These are just a tiny bit, these are crumbs, like a few stories of thousands, tens of thousands of people who are just getting killed. What does Kamala Harris say? Don't forget that America, the United States, I should say, is giving Israel the top weapons, okay, to fight these people. And don't forget that America's giving Israel about $3 billion a year, probably more during this war. And Kamala Harris, she's at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. She's talking. And so many people wanted to speak there. There was a group of women called Muslims for Kamala, Muslim Women for Kamala, Muslim Women for Kamala. And they had a speaker who wanted to come up and talk about what's going on in Palestine. And you know the speaker, but they let the Israeli speaker go up and talk about all the atrocities that are going on with the war. They let that person speak at the DNC. So if you're Palestinian, which is really real hypocritical of Kamala, those are the foreigners that she doesn't care about. Those are the ones who cares. She said at her speech, she didn't say one thing about the atrocities that are going on with the civilians and the deaths. But she did say, I'm paraphrasing, but she 110% backs Israel and that they should be able to use any amount of force that they need to, I'm doing air quotes, protect themselves. They're just getting their lick back and they're overkilling it. You understand? Yes. What happened with what was it? Hamas? The terrorist group that attacked those Israeli civilians at the concert, that was sick. 1,200 people died, women, and mostly women, getting kidnapped, most of them not making it back home, no telling what happened to them. That was sick. But it's no different from what's happening, 5 times as much? Or should I say 500 times? Or 5,000. I'm trying to think, 60, 1,200, no, 5 times, right? 1,200, that's 60,000. So let's say 4 times as much. Because almost 50, what is it, like, the numbers keep going up and down. 30,000 to like 50,000 people have been killed, Palestinians, since the war started. And most of them are civilians. But what did Kamala care? Or Kamala, or whatever y'all say. She doesn't say anything about that. When she talks about xenophobia, she's only talking about Asians, okay? Oh, I know. She has to say Mexicans and Latinos, like Guatemalans, and, because, you know, they're close to home and they're a part of our American, United States of America. They're a part of our community. They always have been. So of course she's got to say, oh yeah, these immigrants from Mexico. But really, you're talking about Pakistanis. You're talking about Indians, Eastern Indians. You're talking about other Asians, like Chinese. You're not talking about all foreigners. Miss Harris, You're not. Am I vilifying or trying to say something bad about Eastern Indians or Chinese? No, I love everybody. There's so many beautiful people. I'm talking about her and how she, again, remember people being used. She's just, whatever she likes, she's going to use it. And she's not fit to lead. And then, of course, right away, people say, well, Donald Trump's not fit to lead either. Duh. We as Americans have a really, really tough task on our hands. Now, people say, presidents are selected, not elected. Yeah, okay, guess what? Voting counts. It does. I'm not going to get into electoral colleges. Or is it electoral? How come we always have a hard time with that? I mean, electoral. At least I didn't say electric, right? Electoral colleges. I remember in school, and I'm talking about not just grade school or high school, even in college, you have to go over all that. And we should really know about it. But our heads are so full of so much stuff that we have to know. All right, y'all, I've already done an hour and 11 minutes and 30 seconds. This is great. I'm going to start doing my weight stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to should I keep it? Let me stop this. I walked, I thought I walked further. I only walked 2.8 miles. Jeez. I remember when I used to do walk and talk, I would walk like 9 miles doing walk and talk. That was 2 years ago when my friend was still alive. Shout out to Esoteric from Esoteric Thoughts. That was sad. But anyway, I thought about him because he used to be talking to me sometimes when I would walk. Shout out to his family, his mom, his wife, his children. Oh, God. Should I turn the camera on and let y'all see me all sweaty? They're going to get a screenshot of it. Like, ooh, girl, look at her. I told you she's ugly. I should turn my camera on anyway, though. Oh, my gosh. Make sure I don't have any mocos. Mocos in the cocos. Y'all know what mocos are? Mocoso. Okay, let me see. Let me turn my camera on. There goes nothing. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, Lord. Cover my face a little because I know they're going to be like, oh. So anyway, that's me. I love she doesn't love herself. Did you guys see that? She wouldn't show her whole face. Oh my God. She's so insecure. Let me do it again. It's sideways, right? What do you guys see? Looking good. Thanks, Nosy. Let's see. They're going to take that picture, that me turning the camera on, they can take that and do all kinds of stuff with it. We got her. We got them talking about, we caught Nepal. We found the real Nepal, y'all. Come look at what she looks like. I'm working on my legs right now. Let's see your beautiful face. You're sweet. Okay, so anyway, you guys and gals, I'm doing my legs, and then I'm going to, I really don't want to, but I have to do. I don't like doing floor work in the public place. I'm gonna go home and do my little floor work, like Pilates kind of style stuff. And that'll be it. So I'm gonna end this because it's getting intense. I really don't like lifting weights, but I'm doing it today. I just want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in. No Saint, Ben Frank, Tahuti, True Light, Philip, Bolo. Jealousy comes in many forms. Some wish you were the reflection they see in the mirror. You wear it well. Wow, there's so many loving people in here. Thank you. So I send it all back to you. Goten Huggins, True Light. And if I didn't name you, I'm sorry, but thank you for being here. All right, I'm ending this. Peace. Have a beautiful day. And just know, Patterson, peace. Just know when they're coming for me and, oh, we got her, she lied on this, and they don't even talk about my teachings because, it's like, what are you going to do? Jesus is a serpent in the garden. I'm still waiting for somebody to try to debunk that. Oh, look at my friend. He's still awake. Friend. All of you are my friends. Okay. So I'm saying that the ones I'm looking at. To the darkest minds of the light. That's right. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Peace and love. I'm still over here, Ben Frank. And shout out to Podcraft. Oh, Lord. I'm going to go ahead and finish my workout. I will do these 4 reps. No, I'm just kidding. I'm doing more than 4. But I will do these, do this leg workout. And then, where did I get what? The darkest minds of the light? Well, it's a story because I like to dig into the esoteric and go deeper and deeper into like deeper understanding and above below the surface. Duh. The deeper you go, the darker it is, right? But then you get enlightened when you go deep and you uncover the mysteries and the arcane, right? Oh, are you talking about Jesus is a serpent? Oh, Jesus is a serpent. I started studying that. Somebody tried to say, when I brought that out, of course, there were people, some of my haters, they're like, she didn't get that concept on her own. That's from so-and-so. He taught her that. And he even was lying, saying that he taught that to me, which he never taught that. But this is how I got it. When I was younger, my mom always told me, like, there's hidden stuff in those 2 stories, like Genesis 1 and 2 and 3. So basically those 3 chapters of the Bible. And of course there's Gnostic teachings that say that the serpent was benevolent. Not Jesus, because that's my teaching. Benevolent. And now when you go on the internet, and before 2020, you would never find Jesus as a serpent. But now, since I taught that, and since I kept on pushing that, it picked up. And now you Google it in YouTube, and you can find a bunch of stuff saying, is Jesus a serpent? Is Jesus a serpent? So I digress. So I was like, really looking at the text and saying, okay, something's off here. And I'm not going to lie. This is over the years. I left it alone. But I was like, this so-called serpent doesn't seem as bad as as people are saying. This was over the years, but I left it alone because I was like, I must be wicked. I can't believe I'm being a bug out, because I was being taught that if you see that kind of stuff, you're evil, right? So anyway, let me finish. So then over the years, I was looking at it, I left it alone. Like how you're saying, no, young lady, like how you're saying that, see? Because people are like, that's evil, that's an evil thought. People still don't like it. Even people who don't believe in the Bible are upset over me saying that. So then Sonnetter said, he brought it back to my mind. The Gnostics are in between thoughts. She's sister, be careful and discern thoroughly. Okay, yes, thank you. Don't worry. I'm okay. I don't follow the Gnostic teachings. I've read enough of it to say, okay, that's not for me. I don't really subscribe to that. So anyway, so Sonnetter brought it up one time, like in 2021. He was like, the serpent didn't lie. That's what my mom used to always say. And it reminded me. I was like, wow. Then I started doing the research and comparing the serpent to who is Jesus in the New Testament. And it's spot on. It's exactly everything that Jesus in the New Testament does on the surface. You can get the symbolism from what the serpent does in the garden. And then people say, well, what about in the prophecies, like in Isaiah and in Ezekiel, where it says, the serpent is evil, da, da, da. There are many serpents at that time in the story. The serpent of Genesis chapter 3 is not the only serpent of those of the uh, cosmology or cosmogony. Not me. I find it fascinating. Yeah, I should bring it up again. I think I shall. I'm going to bring it up again. Maybe I'll do something today. Because Jesus is the serpent in the garden. Because if it's such a bad teaching, you'll have people who hate me, who call themselves teachers, go, and she's so stupid with that Jesus in this Jesus the serpent thing. They always bring that up. So it must have made a great impact on them. I know that it made an impact on the so-called consciousness community and even beyond, like these different Christian apologists are now saying Jesus can't be the serpent, but Jesus is the serpent, according to the story. Jesus says, so shall the Son of Man be lifted up, just as the serpent was lifted up. He literally compares himself to, AKA calls himself the serpent. Grand opening, grand closing. And with that said, I'm listening, but word to the wise, always get the whole truth, because partial truths can be misleading. I heard scholars say. Okay, thank you. The staff, the tree, the crown. Interesting. Remember, hung on a tree? Nepal's Black Jesus Minister banned from HOK. I haven't seen him in a while. He did some stuff that was like, like you'll see more people making fun of us, they mostly mess with my pictures. They mess with Sonnetter's name. They twist things that I've said and sometimes they don't twist. Like when I've crashed out on Sonnetter, when he's disrespected me in the past and when I've disrespected him, people move forward, you heal, but they keep playing things over and over. So why did I say that? Because Black Jesus Minister picked up some of that. And he was supposed to be like more of an acquaintance to Sonnetter than all these other people. But when he, felt like he was done wrong, I'm talking about professionally done wrong, meaning maybe Sonnetter didn't let him come on and teach. Maybe Sonnetter didn't let him use his content. He decided to go grab some of that stuff from some of those recordings and send them out and post them everywhere. And so, of course, when you do things like that, there's a point of no return. Shout out to ISUPK Tazariak crossed the line. When you cross the line, it's like, no, you can't go back. The point of no return. So that's what happened to Black Jesus. And a lot of people have crossed the line. Got it. P.S. Last night's show was fire, wasn't it? Whew. You got to do that again. I loved it. Shout out to my friend Judge Joe Brown. I got to call him today and congratulate him. He reminded me. He is the source, right? How are you saying he's not the source? Like, he was there. That doesn't make any sense. And shout out to my brother Jabari.
But how can you say, where's your source? You're reading from an article, and he's like, and then when I was standing next to, Kamala Harris's dad, or, it's like, what? How are you going to say that's not valid? So we don't typically get legendary people like that who said, yeah, I was right there. So when we do, no, I'd rather read a news article. No, the guy's saying he was sitting right there and that the man told him this. Well, we can't take his word for it, but we can take the person who wrote the article's word for it. Get it? It's like, anyway. All righty, that was a good show. Anyway, I am so glad to talk to you all, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Jabari is funny. Yeah, Jabari's great. I mean, we get, all of us, I'm saying all of us, not just Jabari, we get really passionate about our teachings and our our political stance, our spiritual stance. But at the end of the day, we got to know it's not personal. Some people take it personally. That's the problem. And then they, like Black Jesus, then they go off and they start trying to harm you. So anyway, everybody's not cut out for this, because why? I'm getting ready to do a plug, right? It's the toughest environment. All right, peace to the darkest, most beautiful minds of the light. And I love you all, I really do. I got to do this more, I know. Don't forget to hit the like. Send your friends over. I'll try to keep it. When I say send your friends over to my channel, I'm like, y'all are like, I don't know. I don't want you crashing out. I'll try not to crash out. I'm not going to crash out on my channel. I have a channel for that now. It's called The Last Laugh. Go subscribe. Look it up. It's called The Last Laugh. The Last Laugh. And also, we have The Dumpster. All right. Peace to you, Patterson. Thank you for your input. Peace, Ben Frank, No Saint, Tahuti, and everyone. Peace and love.